My eyes still sore. Just having a little vodka. Um, yeah, I just wanted to clear up what I said before about it's probably a touchy subject, talking about different races and where we come from and where we originated. And now I say humanity comes from the Andromeda strain on in another galaxy is sort of transported over just as life forms, little life forms probably populating Mars or whatever. Eventually we migrate to Earth, and I'd say it would be that strain would have helped evolve sort of Asian and Zulu people, from animals, and we would have been the catalyst for that. I'd say it would have started a long time before, because without being offensive, they were more primitive than us for a long time, um, they've always tried to catch up, and I think they have caught up and even surpassed some of us now. But and they made big efforts to get over their problems and things like slavery and other things they were suffering, and all that sort of thing. I don't know why they blame us so much for their problems or don't want to sort of join in, or it's just some people are like that, I suppose. I always try and accept everyone around me as much as I can. And, I'm trying to work out my life. It's not always easy to explain stuff over the internet. I'm not trying to be offensive. It's just, um, I do believe there was an Andromeda strain, which is kind of a God strain or something, which helped evolve men on Earth and men and women on Earth from animals. So it's sort of a catalyst. That's why white people tend to lead the way a bit. We tend to live more affluent lives, leading up to sort of, Asian people more in the jungle, more in junks, even sort of, junks. I mean, the boats, the junks on on the rivers and things. They were sort of living that way, more into street food, that kind of thing. We were sort of already making restaurants and kings and queens and all sorts of stuff like that. Always into all that sort of stuff. And I'm not saying Asians don't do that too. I've done it for thousands of years, but maybe the black people was sort of just catching up as well. Sort of, they might not see it the same way, but I see it like we've influenced them, and sort of they. I've even heard black people on different chat shows say how, they're very heavily influenced by white culture, which is more. I mean, it started out Christian, now it's more all sorts of stuff now, sort of all this, non-binary sort of stuff, which is about liberating choice and stuff like that, and conformity. But yes, like as a kid, I felt like I was right up there with everyone, leading the way. I didn't feel like I wanted to be famous. We didn't have the internet back then, so we just thought all famous people on the TV, But yeah, you never really dream you're going to be like that. But then after a while, you think, they're just people like me, no different. So you start to realise they have their problems and everything, and not like the glossy image they are on telly all the time. Either they have drug problems and mental health and family problems and relationships, and some probably don't. Some live a great life, but yeah, I'm just saying, when I said, humanity, well, human beings came from Andromeda originally, or it might have been some other similar sort of strain, but I'm just using that as the example of where, Andromeda, probably where we originated, was from another galaxy at some point, come over by a meteorite or spiritually or some other way as a god strain, and sort of influence evolution. So I feel like I'm the catalyst behind all that. I'm always the evolutionary sort of precipice of change and belief. And, I went through changes in my life at 20, and it's sort of evolved into this new sort of superpower belief I have behind me. It's not something I think about all day. It's just what I like to talk about online, like I don't get a lot of response because people are just busy in their lives, probably not interested. But yeah, I don't mind talking about anything really. Like, the superpower covers the world, the whole universe. So any topics up for talk. I don't mind, but I'm very open minded. Very yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to try and sell myself, but I'm just going to try and enjoy my vodka. Yeah, I suppose being that sort of person doesn't make it a bit tough getting married. You know, you got a lot of competition. Your wives tend to be these beautiful blonde, blue-eyed bombshells like Barbie or something. You know, I'm supposed to sort of be this kind of Ken doll this lifetime, and because of war and our family life, it just didn't end up that way yet. So I still believe maybe one day I'll meet Barbie, and even if she's married and we're just friends, that'd be nice, or whatever, you know, or just business partners or something. Yeah, I'm happy to just meet any girl that really wants to have me, you know. But yeah, I've got all sorts of fantasies and plans and ideas and creation I'd like to be doing involved in. I don't just conform the idea of getting married and sitting at home and having dinner and that's life. I mean, I suppose if that's the choice you make together, then there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, just you still got to, it's nice to earn a living to support your kids. You know, you got to these days you got to be a bit multi-skilled. You know, a bit out there and everything. But anyway, I just wanted to make that note that I think we all come from Andromeda. Really, in the beginning, in a way, we come to Earth as small animals, and that Andromeda strain is very strong in the evolutionary scale of change. It's always striving for new things. It's just what's behind everything. I think that Andromeda strain, and everyone's trying to catch up and keep up with it and everything. And I don't look like I'm doing much, but in my spirit, my belief, and my being, I'm out there in the universe doing all sorts of things now. I feel myself out there terraforming the earth, doing all sorts of great stuff to bring all these dreams into being, like all these, and they're not all bad, not all destructive. It's just sort of, keeping the balance, protecting the earth. And I'd even love to just have a few of us have a ring, and the magical ring, and, bring Captain Planet into being, it'd be great. Oh, bloody pimple again. Shit. It's the alcohol, I think. I've got no sugar drinks, but the alcohol gives you pimples. Bloody things. I had a mole taken off there. Now it looks like I'm growing another one, but it's another pimple. Bloody things. The skin's not too bad otherwise. But I need reshaping. Being single, your body's not the right shape. You look sort of stupid, don't you? I feel like I can't quite crack into the right shape, Some days I'll be sitting there and my arm will go, and it feels so nice. That bit of stress has come out, and it feels like natural. And I wish my whole body was like that. I think it's love making sex that does it. It puts your body in shape. Plus about good exercise and all that. But I'd love to be like that, athletic, even where I could climb mountainsides or do all that ninja warrior climbing or something. Because I'm like that. But as a kid, I never got the girlfriend. I never had the sex when I was young. I think you're supposed to have it when you're about 10 or 12. With your friends, and I never got that, and I couldn't climb the school ropes. I always felt like my hips were too heavy. I couldn't get up the ropes, and that really put me off everything. Then I couldn't do flips off the cliffs with my friends. I sort of just jumped off. I couldn't do backflips. Just hold you back, I'd love to catch up, catch up with the speed of life, I'm like I'm a bit held back, but at the same way, I'm sort of doing all this other stuff. So in a way, it doesn't. I don't like putting pressure on women to be that person in my life that does that for me, because they shouldn't have to feel that way. They should just feel like they can be the wife or the mother or a friend or lover or whatever, and not have to feel like they have to be your savior or anything. Because either way, it'll end up the same. It'll end up some kind of Superman in the end, I think, because I believe my spirit's evolved into a superpower. That's what it feels like. I'm going to follow that one day, no matter what. Being in love does make it a nicer journey. That's all. Like more beautiful, more love, more friendship. Less violent. Being in love and being accepted. The only reason we're violent is because we're not accepted. We're not accepted of who we are. Not accepted for what we want in life. We're fighting for it instead of being given it. If we're given it, then we give back. I've got the whole universe to give back. I've taken the whole thing. I'm willing to give it to whoever wants to give me their love. So, and in that's creation, all this beautiful stuff, is in my heart. And anyways, people out there probably don't like it. Not everyone's going to agree. There'll always be people thinking, "Oh, you're doing something wrong" or something. Well, no, I'm just doing the natural thing I was born to do. So, anyway, I better go do homework. It's 8 o'clock, but got a bit to do. Got to finish off, do my PCB, done my schematic, and I fixed up that diode. I turned it into a resonator, so a crystal. So yeah, on my project I'm working on. So you can see the Superman there a little bit. Just this should be bigger. It feels like it needs to go, like burst out of my shell. I'm holding myself in, it's a horrible feeling, but your spirit and soul's out there, like in this super framework, but your body is slowly catching up. It's slowly catching up, but yeah, it'd be nice with some love and affection to really, because it's about sharing your heart, sharing your love. And if you're just sharing your love with the whole world, it still works, but it's slow and painful, and people don't accept you. And it's, if you're in love, people love you more if you have a partner, and it's just a more beautiful thing being in love with everything. Nature loves you, the birds sing to you. It's beautiful. That's why I always feel like I'm Prince Charming. Like ultimately that's the Superman. That's his kingdom. Prince Charming. That's what he's striving for. All this time is that fairy tale that we wrote about and we dreamt about, and I was probably part of Disney in a previous life doing all that work. I think my soulmate was, because there's a picture of her drawing, and I think it's her. She looks the same, but I might be wrong. Of course, I might be wrong. But I have a feeling we knew each other, but we never got married. We always went to life doing stuff together. We're close. Like there's even a picture around those times of Schindler's. The Holocaust, and I'm with this girl, and it looks like me and the same girl playing together, but we never got married. It always feels like maybe we're just destined to be playmates in life, and this life didn't work out. We played a bit and sort of didn't happen because I wasn't well, but I don't know if I'll ever meet that soulmate, get married. And I suppose I was a bit bewitched by that whole Krishna religion, seeing instead of seeing the Christian image of Christ on his own on a cross being hurt, that whole Sri Krishna idea of the Indian Hindu sort of image of him with his beautiful lover was so much more appealing, And when I met this girl, it just felt like that. I was with my perfect soulmate, Maybe just the whole religion brought us together somehow, sort of almost violently through that rave party. I had to find her that way. But yeah, it's sad that I didn't have a girlfriend to lead on to her, and then she would have been more accepting. I wouldn't have gone through the mental health stuff, but just couldn't seem to keep a girlfriend. I had a few, but they just didn't stay around. So yeah, or a few short little flings and things, and I don't know. I was a poor little skinny boy. I was quite pretty, but yeah, just the girls wanted the bigger, tougher Arnold Schwarzenegger boys, I suppose. Which I could have been later on when I got a bit older, but not really into bodybuilding. I think Superman is a slim, just a petite sort of bloke, pretty boy, probably 6 or 7 foot. But when he transforms with his superpower, he busts out and he's like, 8 foot tall or 7 foot something tall, 8 foot tall or whatever. Or maybe just a bit bigger, just a bit more larger than life, and he can really, fly around and use that power. It's like He-Man, same thing with the sword, transforming. All the great characters tend to transform that I relate to, you can probably study it all and find out exactly what that relates to in my history as well, all the different things that I believe in a sense, being a Christ or a saviour or a hero, or all the sort of things I've lived through in what I believe is my history, which I don't tell people in person. It's just something I document online, just because I like a little bit of interest in that. I don't want to go out and like I mean, if I'm accepted that way, it'd be fantastic, because then I'd feel the nurturing of the world the way it should be. But ultimately, I'm just Evan. I haven't done much with my life, so I've got to make my mark as myself this lifetime. I can't just rely on the people I was in history or the future. I've got to show that I'm worthy as a human being this lifetime. So I'm still working at that. I'll still get there, but it is nice to be thought of that way. That I was all these great people in history, creating the world and forging ahead and being a pioneer. And Mozart, Da Vinci, Captain Cook, Christ, all these different people I might have been through history. Usually the most famous people in history sort of, different times wasn't so famous, but their work has become famous. And probably later in life, as Elvis and other things, I've become more famous as the world has become a more media-centered place. But this lifetime, I don't think I was meant to. I think I was just meant to sneak off with my soulmate or something, or my wife, and then maybe become famous later on when I sort of got acknowledged, but sort of hasn't worked out well. But I still think that the world's interested enough in all that culture to acknowledge myself as that culture. And it's not the whole world, it's just one section, that sort of pioneering stream of humanity that goes through and helps everything evolve and change and move on, and which is a good thing. You shouldn't think it's a bad thing, because it helps people come from the animal kingdom to the human kingdom, and then hopefully onto something better. Angels and gods and supermen and whatever's after that, magical spirits. And that's where I believe it all heads, because that's where I can just feel my spirit doing all this work out there to create all that. And it's not all for nothing, it's all going to eventually blossom into something. So I think even terraforming Earth into a sun is a really positive thing. And I don't mean a sun that's going to burn us to death. I just mean it's almost a star. It just turns the Earth into a star. It's sort of like the energy within shines from within, and it spins differently. So it's not spinning the atmosphere away. It's sort of holding onto it. And I don't really know how to explain the sun as Earth where you can live on it. It's sort of it's a different power. So to the observer, it would look like a sun, but living on it would look like a utopia. It would be beautiful. But so it'd be a different attitude. People would be a lot stronger, but you have to be a lot gentler and a lot more accepting of each other. You couldn't have warfare on a sun, it'd be deadly. But I think we'd all have to come to understand each other better, and accept each other, and not try to steal from each other and try to take credit where it's not due. I'm just trying to be myself and trying to get that message out, because I want people to connect with my heart and be in love, so they can feel that power and be part of it, and help the world succeed and move on. And I just want the best for everyone, really, all animals and nature and humanity and everyone. So, and ultimately, I think we should move to Venus once this sun, if this does happen, once this sun ignites and turns into a beautiful sort of utopia, it would affect our sun and it becomes stronger. And then Mars, having the two suns, Mars would probably come into more of a better orbit, and even Venus would be affected, I think, and become probably the next planet to inhabit. So, we'd probably move on to Venus and terraform that and get it more like an Earth, more inhabitable. So, that's just my vision of how it all sort of works. I can just see it happening very, very, very slowly, millimetre by millimetre, the changes towards that, and it seems like everyone's helping. So, I mean, this is just me really narrating, really. I'm just narrating what's happening. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm not trying to change anything. It's just, I'm narrating my life as it's happening. And it's just nice if it gets out there to more people, because be a more enjoyable journey. That's just what I want, a more enjoyable, happy, exciting, acknowledged and respected journey, you know. So, yeah, anyway, it's 20 minutes. See ya. There's Ken in there somewhere. He's there. A bit bloated in there. I should have a bigger, more beautiful. The nose should be just not puffy like that. It should just be a. It's gone a bit puffy. It does hook a little bit at the end. A little bit puffy. But yeah, it's all straightening out the kinks. Alright, see ya. I saw a girl drop a Barbie today. I said, "Oh, don't forget your little Barbie." And she's like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "You're standing right next to Ken. Love Ken too." Ken Wheeler. Big Wheeler. I gotta get me pink monster truck, yeah? When I find Barbie, I'm getting a pink monster truck. That's what I'm driving. Not a tank like the Beast. Eddie Hall. I'm getting a monster truck. Not huge, just on road, you know. I don't know where I park it. Probably just leave it in the street. People drive under it. Anyway, just a thought. So yeah, still got to transform too. Ken to Street Fighter Ken. That's the transformation there too. So it's all a vision. It's all part of the picture of the greater good, the inception of the world becoming something. I want to hold on to it. I don't want to lose it and die and just be nothing. I want to hold on to the world and be the vision of the inception of creation eternally. Like that girl that does the calisthenics or whatever in the, you know, that we are a being of light, and you know, she does those bendy movements. What a classic, eh? Funny. Trying to be different. Just being herself, I guess. Yeah. Not the norm. Not the normal thing you'd see, but to her, fantastic, you know, whatever. Alright, see ya.